Hey man, welcome here, welcome back. Long time no see, man. It's that guy, blue as it gets. Here for the fandom, with the fandom, for the fandom, as always, man. Yeah, it's post Super Bowl cut, just to timestamp this correctly, and you know, Philadelphia Eagles went on to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in a relatively unremarkable game, to be honest with you. Kansas City was not in it at any point. It really seemed like down 14 or down 7-0, then they went down 14-0, and then it just kind of kept rolling from there, man. And at least Saquon, I guess we kick it in that Saquon wasn't really like the biggest thing in the game, man. He just had a regular game. They did a pretty good job balling him up. I'm sure that was an emphasis coming into their game script, however you want to write it. Just that stopping him was a primary thing, especially because I mean the guy was doing his thing all season, and so yeah. Other than that, man, so that's we're not gonna harp on that too much. They had their little Super Bowl parade stuff going on too, so that's the further timestamp where this is recorded at. And yeah, yeah, but in the recent times since the Giants, at least since the season has been going on, we're in that discussion point now, what we're going to do with the team moving forward. Everything's going to be relatively brand new as far as the key offensive positions that we see here. There's no more Daniel, there's no more Saquon, there's no McKinney. We got fresh faces like, it's going to be a long road as we're going here. And the team has been discussing what we're kind of approach we might take to this. And some might think we might bring a free agent in, like Matt Stafford or Aaron Rodgers or Russ or Fields or whoever else might come off on the list. But, you know, it is going to be what it is at that point. I don't think at this stage right now, there's many decisions to make outside of really focusing in on primarily probably rookie talent. We do have a relatively high pick. For number three, there's no guarantee that any of the quarterbacks in this draft are seen as number one overall picks like that. So, at least by consensus, I guess. The team needs a lot of help. Of course, we need offensive help. We need defensive help. I know Abdullah Carter's been a name kind of shopped around for us, but as always, to keep our horizons broadened and make sure that we're not focusing in on too much of one thing, just in case that one thing gets chosen by another team. Um, but as far as looking at any of the quarterbacks, of course, we know some of the names like Cam Ward, um, Deion Sanders' son, Shador Sanders, and other quarterbacks that might be talked about. Those are probably the two primary ones in this year's draft, at least one or two. And I don't really have a say of a choice to say, oh yeah, get him or yeah, get him. There's a lot to look at as far as all the options the team could take, both offensively on a quarterback side or defensively. Like some names have been shot, like Abdul Carter or others. But right now, I think the bigger thing for me looking at it is not so much the draft, but it's so far out and scouting and combine is to go around. This combine, always, when the combine comes around, we'll know more about how the proper QB evaluation is being taken by the league because they always shoot up at least a pick or two. So if they're talking, mid first round picks for some guys, and those guys might be three and up at that point. And everybody else moves up too, relatively, right? Um, what else? If for me at least, the bigger thing is just evaluating how Joe Shane's going to go about it in this whole thing because the outcome of the season is just the outcome of the season now. You know, I've talked about it a lot. I'm sure other people have opinions on it, but you can see the writing on the wall when Hard Knocks was going on, and I did review of the series, or over as the series is going on, the post episodes things. You check those out maybe, but you just kind of came away with that vibe that the way Joe Schoen was kind of pumping it up, man. His play, the way the situation might have played out, could have been a little different. And he at least rode on what I guess he felt at the time, even though it's proven to be kind of a misstep. We'll just say it like that. At the lowest level, we'll just say it's a misstep right now, because the two major contract situations, not only to include, well, three major contract situations, not only to include Saquon, you know what I'm saying here, Barkley and DJ and Xavier McKinney, are not really good looks as, you know, namesakes on a team for some part. But as far as the play, somebody like Barkley and McKinney here, just going to their teams and having these types of resurgent seasons. And with the Eagles and Barkley going on to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl, not a good look. I don't care how you want to really split it. Uh, Jot it down, man. It's just not. It's not good. Um, John Mara spoke with himself about how he would feel if Saquon, went to the Eagles. He was only talking about that part. When he said that before, he was only saying like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel that Saquon ends up on the Eagles. He didn't even go into the next step of, I don't know how I'm gonna feel if Saquon goes to the Eagles and they go to the playoffs and et cetera and et cetera and win a Super Bowl. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that, Joe. And Joe's, yeah, okay, Joe. Okay, okay, Joe. So I think relative to that, that the plate is really on Joe Shane's table here as to what um, gets added to the menu because he's the one that cleared the plate. He's the one that got rid of the ingredients, bad and good, on the team, but not even really, right? Because with DJ, for instance, he left on his own accord. He asked for his own release. It wasn't like a situation where his contract had come to end at the end of this season, the last 7 weeks. And then, at this point, the team might have been talking about not bringing him back, or whatever. That's not that same situation. He left on his own accord, but, he just look at the situation at the time and him being benched at the time. Maybe he might even came back and played another game or two after that, through the progressive season. It still wasn't great. Was not something that seemed to be taken into account when Joe Shane was sitting down 2, 3 years prior. Um, During not talking Saquon's contract. Now I'm talking Daniel Jones's contract negotiations. It did the amount paid and the guarantees and the immediate play and that season to get hurt, and then to the next season to be like, so see, I'm saying that even when we try to talk about this prior season here in 24, man, we can't even just, it's not even like we're just isolating just 2024 is actually in Daniel Jones's favor, in my opinion, because we don't talk about the year prior or the seasons prior to even Joe Shane getting here, um, being here. So there was no real honest surprise for a lot of us fans as far as how Daniel Jones' situation played out, the QB position for us. But that's no longer a thing, right? It's neither here or there because Saquon Barkley is no longer a New York Giant and he's gone to win the Super Bowl. But Daniel Jones is no longer a New York Giant either. And I guess that's all they're saying about it. So yeah, when you get to the draft here and we look at options, is it Matt Stafford or Aaron Rodgers? Just a quick breeze. I could do a quick breeze over the free agent situation because I'm just pretty much like no for a lot of that because when you talk about the names that we'd be mentioning, they are way older. They're like 35 plus. They're not like 29, 30-ish. And then when you're talking that age, and now you're talking like Sam Darnold, 31, 32-ish, that type of stuff. When we had a Tyrod here, who, however old he was, he could still have been here for another season because he's trying to play with the Jets or whatever, I believe, right? So, hmm, man, I think there's a lot to go through for the front office and a lot for John Mayer and Steve Tisch to take in. Recent news is that they might be looking for some to sell some stake in the team a little bit. So maybe, I don't know what that's supposed to be. Supposed to be for offers for people who have outward insight in for the team. Then I hope they got some stakes a little lower so that we can go ahead and buy in on that, right? Or we can pull our money together here, the public, and keep out, the venture capitalist types that just come in and try to vulture it, and then just keep the team looking trash while trying to make profit over it, while we're actually trying to make the team not be so terrible anymore. That's before they hand out stakes and that, they need to hand out a stake and just being in the front office, some type of quality assurance, play assurance. They do these things already for years, other teams, and I'm sure the Giants too, seasons, just take some bug testing through these game scripts and this front office stuff. And get our own efficiencies type going up in there, you know what I mean? Oh man, but yeah, it's funny, man. It's funny. We can't. The Super Bowl's already over. I was even that angry watching the game because the Eagles, and they're a pretty good team. And the Chiefs, they were just kind of sus all season, and they just it's all over Mahomes. It's all over him. He took some nice sacks. That was good to see the QB get hit and everything like that. The defensive people out there was good. Yeah, yeah. Um, but the team, man, we gotta get this shit together, bro. All right, I don't think it's the first expletive I done dropped, so it's well past YouTube standards to make sure I don't have to worry about nothing extra. way, way done with this shit, with this fuckery that this team has been up to for the last few seasons, and the front office in particular. Because just because Joe Schoen is still here, and it might seem like the Giants don't have any options on the outside. Yeah, there's still people in house that they tend to do that could come in and Joe Schoen could be out, or he can sign his papers and resign, much like Daniel Jones did, whenever he feels like his bags can be pre-packed and he can just move on out before anything else has to be said to him on the matter. Because this is not good, man. This is not good, and we hope that next season is better. Uh, I just been kind of chilling out, man. Not really paying too much attention to Giants rumors of free agent stuff, at least, or even the draft discussions, because it's so far out in combine, things like that. Interests would change and opinions and stuff like that would be what they are. And everybody's got one. So, um, yeah, I think that's it, man. As I said, trying to improve things around here. Just been working through some things here in the personal life and trying to stay busy and productive best we can here and stay on track and, you know, keep our sense, stay out of trouble. Hope everybody else is doing the best as they can out there too. Thanks for those that come by and watch this and shit like that. Stay updated. And I'd like to hear a little bit of banter on the Giants and stuff. I mean, do share if you got some stuff, of course, yourselves. Thanks to any recent subscribers and things like that. I don't keep too much attention to the count because I'm just this channel, but um, as that does count up, I do try to. I mean, I'm not placing myself as anything other than a relatively insightful fan about the team who has some interest to talk about it, and hope that other people find that interest too. And like listen to me talk about it, I guess, right? Yeah, that's the most important part. And I can bring content and relative entertainment. I'm not gonna always be as bubbly. You won't find every RGB light up in here and every thing up in here right now, or every title screen splashed out with my, you know, impressions of a situation pre-baked into the background. But I will try to give, a genuine opinion and always as authentic as I can be with it. Yeah, for me not to be. Uh, Team been watching this trash for a long time. The team for a very long time, but just garbage play from the team uh, for a long enough time, right? All right, yo. Yeah. Um, I mean, we don't just need a quarterback. There's many things the team needs. Hopefully, we can get these things right. They really primarily do because I don't think Joe Shane and Brian Daboll speak as well. I'll have much more time to not be putting up relatively good seasons, these double-digit win seasons, really. Because now you're 9-7 was already so long ago now. Is that man? You need to get back to probably double-digit stuff. Because another 9-7 situation doesn't seem like it's going to be enough, in my opinion. I can say that right now, probably. And even talking double digits, you have to probably be talking about some quality wins and production and performance by the team, not these one game, you know, decision makers. So that probably puts the team at, like a 11 win, 10 win situation, maybe even 12, if they're just ugly wins. And then we're talking about something else entirely for us as far as probably the offense having a new production level out of it. Yeah, man. Okay. Be good, everybody, man. Thanks for stopping by. It's Boy Blue the Gets. And yeah, you know, uh, what else? If we move forward towards the draft and stuff like that, of course, I'll try to provide content we'll probably pick up around then. But until then, let's just coast, man, and get through this off season. Fun.